types of bases. So let's have a look at what are the main types of acids and how they have been classified. What are the main properties on which they have been classified into the categories? So, types of bases. Basically, the bases have been classified in terms of hydroxide ions. In terms of ions means that how many number of hydroxide ions they can produce per molecule. So hydroxide ions that they can give by per molecule of the base when they're going to be added in water. When we add a base in the water, then how many number of hydroxide ions it is going to be produced per molecule. Per molecules mean the one molecule is going to produce how many hydroxide ions in the water. So they have been classified on this base. We have basically two categories of the acids. The first one type we have monoacid bases. We have monoacid bases, and the second we have polyacid bases. As the name is going to be show, mono means one and the poly mean many. So let's discuss one by one these two types of bases in detail. Monoacid bases. So by definition, for the monoacid bases, we have the bases that are going to produce only one hydroxide ions per molecule, and this per molecule is going to be produced in an aqueous solution. Aqueous solution means the solution that is in the water, or the solvent is water over there. The solution is known as aqueous solution. So the acids that produces only one hydroxide ion per molecule are known as the monoacid and bases. So we have many examples related to the monoacid bases. Let's discuss this example. So the first one example for this we have sodium hydroxide. When we have its aqueous solution, then in the water it is going to produce ions like sodium positive and hydroxide negative. So here it has produced only one hydroxide ion, so it is known as monoacid base. Mono means we have one. So the second example for this we have potassium potassium hydroxide. It's aqueous solution, the same conditions, it produces potassium K positive ion and hydroxide ion. So it is also falls under the category of monoacid and bases. Next, if we have the third example related to the monoacid and bases, it is ammonium hydroxide NH4OH. When it is going to be dissolved in water, it is going to produce NH4 positive ammonium cation or an ion, and along with the hydroxide ion. So it also falls under the category of monoacid and bases. So all these have produces one hydroxide ion. So these are known as the monoacids and bases. So next type is the second type of the basis is polyacid basis. As the name is gonna to be show, poly mean we have many. So the bases that are going to produce more than bases that are going to produce more than one hydroxide ion when these are going to be added in water, or when we take their aqueous solution, they can produce more than one hydroxide ion in aqueous solution are known as the polyacids and bases. So let's have an example for the polyacids and bases. So the first one example for the polyacids and bases we have barium hydroxide BaOH twice. When we have its aqueous solution, or when it is going to be dissolved in water, then we have the main product is barium as a cation and hydroxide ion as OH negative. So here we have two hydroxide ions. We have one molecule of barium hydroxide and it is going to produce two hydroxide ions. So it is known as the polyacid base. If we have the second example for this, calcium hydroxide have its aqueous solution and the same condition, then the product that we gain it is calcium two positive and two hydroxide ions. It also fall under the category of polyacid and bases because it has produced two hydroxide ions. If we are going to talk about the third example, that is iron hydroxide FeOH3 positive, then along with the same conditions aqueous water, the product we gain is iron Fe positive 3 plus 3 hydroxide ions. As it has produced 3 hydroxide ions mean more than one, so this is known as the polyacid base. We have a lot of examples related to this. If we have fourth one example like aluminium hydroxide, it also produces 3 hydroxide ions. So etc. We have a lot of examples and a lot of bases that can act like polyacid and bases. I hope you guys understand about the topic or the types of acids, and if you have any queries, you can ask me about that in the comment section. For that time, have a good day and Allah Hafiz.